What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. This is for the people who decided to have a family on their own and they just actually included another human being. I was watching, of course, the hottest man on YouTube, Kevin Samuels, talk to a young lady, and she had a baby, and she said she was knocked out and got pregnant. I've heard stuff like that happen before. I'm not even going to lie about it, but I'm going to get into that also. And then she said she wanted to have another kid after the fact because she wanted to have the kids not too far apart. Now, this is where things go left because nobody wants to talk about this. Predominantly happens with women. But there are guys who just want to go out here making babies. We know but this predominantly happens with women where I want a kid. I want a kid for this reason. I want a kid at this particular time, but you're not married. You're single. You know what I'm saying? You're not married, you're single, and you might not even be in a relationship. But so you deciding to do this. You're deciding to have a quote unquote family. And all of a sudden, you want, after the fact, after you had your kid, your way, now you want a guy to come in and be the dad. You want to pick, when you get pregnant, pick the type of person you get pregnant by, then pick another guy to be the father because you wanted this particular person's character traits instilled in the child that you picked with the guy that you picked because you decided that you wanted to be pregnant at this particular time. And it's like, listen, man, people getting tired of that stupid stuff because that's what it is. It's just stupid. And now you have an issue where people are like, well, you should live with this woman. Wait, did you ever ask how these babies were being conceived? Did you ever ask the thought patterns? And part of the thought pattern is the problem because, I was thinking like this 5 years ago, and that's why I did that. But now 5 years later, I'm a different person and I think like this. So now I should change this whole situation that I started 5 years ago into this situation, and it's kind of like getting a do-over, but it's not because the situation already existed, but you should give me a pass. No, that's not what's going on. People are not giving people a pass for that. That's a problem. And people have a hard time acknowledging that that's a problem. You decided to have a kid for your own selfish reasons. And then on the flip side, when I talked about the picking a father and picking a dad, here's the issue. And this is how people at some point look at it, right? Shout out to Mr. Palmer. It looks like when you decide to have a family because that's what you wanted, like I said, you get pregnant by one guy, you want another guy to raise a kid, but the guy that you want to raise a kid is possibly dealing with the exact same thing with their child or children's mother. She picked him to have the baby with, but now she wants somebody else to raise a kid. So now you want these mentors and these stepfathers out here to play stepdaddy to your kid because you don't want the father to play daddy because that's not what you chose him for. And then turn around, that same guy who's not good enough for his kid because the mom wanted to choose another person to play daddy or mentor to his kid, he's in the same boat. So you think this isn't permeating these guys' minds? Like, wait a minute. So I'm good enough to be a father to your kid, but I'm not good enough to be a father to my kid. And this keeps going around and around and around and around and around. And that's why guys are like, I'm not doing this. Stop. Because when all the mentors and boyfriends and uncle daddies and friend daddies, go on with their lives, then you double back and you say, that kid needs a father. So, and I talked about this in my book, unilateral decision making. When you make a decision that you want that affects everybody else. And people don't want to talk about why the children are out here making crazy decisions, because they're watching predominantly your mom. I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to do what I want to do. But my decision affects this child. My decision affects this child's father. My decision affects my family as a support system. My decision affects his family as being alienated as a support system. Oh, but my bad. 5 years go by. Oh, my bad. 10 years go by. My bad. 15 years go by. You know what? You need to be a father to this child. This is a problem. Huge problem. Huge problem. Because now what you're basically saying is, when people are looking for the family dynamic, there ain't no such thing. Because the family is just you and a kid that you chose to create, and you didn't even inform the other people that that's what you was out here doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was something else. And y'all wonder why these breakups happen while people are pregnant, because that's when the guys find out, or these breakups happen not too long after the baby is born, because these guys start to find out this wasn't about anything but you getting a baby. You don't care about none of the fallout from this. So now that you got what you wanted out of the situation, now you are who you are. And then people say, did you see any red flags? I don't think you can figure out a red flag for a person who's wants to become a mother, but doesn't want a father to be a parent. You get what I'm saying? You can see selfishness. You can see mean. You can see arrogance. You can see delusion. But you can't see just that. Like, you put those things together and go, oh, yeah, I saw the person was mean. I saw the person was, had a mean streak. I saw the person had a bad attitude at times. I saw the person could be selfish, but I didn't think that this is how they went about that to bring another life into the world. I just, this is what goes on. And then people go, and people might say, well, what I just said is bashing, which is a part of the problem, because the actions that I talked about, they very much so exist and have been existing for decades. But me saying it, and I didn't even cuss, but me saying it is a problem. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that. It's not true. Well, look at Black Lives Matter, the first mission statement. That stuff like that makes it true. You get what I'm saying? I remember when Kenya Moore had you had these women that have kids, and they move to this state, and then a lot of y'all don't realize it says something when you have a child with a person and you up and move out of the city or state. You get what I'm saying? So that child can't be with their other parent because you want to be somewhere and you want to do something. That's when it's like, oh, okay. You one of them people. You one of them people, okay. And then, well, if I feel like moving, you should follow. You should come here. You should. This control issue becomes a bad problem. But that's my thoughts on this. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.